Welcome back, guys. Royce and I are out on the trail hiking today, and I want to talk to you about our little GPS tracker. So I know a lot of you want to know more about that. It is the Findster DUO Plus. So we're just going to head off the trail and let's chat about GPS trackers. They're so important to have if you do a lot of hiking or off-leash work, and especially if you're off-grid. A really cool thing to have. Let's talk about it. So when I first got Royce a year ago, I really wanted a way to track him off-grid without the need for cellular service. And so I searched far and wide to look for a GPS tracker that was affordable and that would do the job that it advertised. So a lot of you may know about GPS trackers, when you guys are hunting with your dogs. Those ones are pretty expensive. We're probably looking upwards of, $1,000 or something like that. It gives you a Garmin GPS unit and a collar for the dog, and then there's a subsequent charge of $200 per collar for subsequent dogs to add on to them. So that was really just not an option for me. So I looked at other things, online, and I came across the Findster DUO Plus, and I was really excited. So I've had this tracker for about a year now. I got it in May when he was quite little. So I waited to do the review because I wanted to make sure I gave this a good try, a good year to see what it was like. So here is the GPS tracker itself. It comes as a 2-module unit. This is the first module, attaches to your pet. It's 2 by 2 inches, solid, it's waterproof, and it's tough and durable. So it's got a little bit of wear and tear on it because we've had it for a year. It attaches to the collar very strongly, so I can twist this off of that's how it attaches. It's really, really strongly attached. After about a year, we have had no failures of it falling off on its own, and Royce loves to wrestle, so that's a really good thing. So what's really attractive about the Findster DUO Plus is that, yes, you have to have a cell phone, but you do not have to have any cellular service at all to operate and use the tracker itself. So how it works is that Royce wears a module, and then I carry this little module right here. It's called the Guardian on my person, and I also have a cell phone. So there's an app on the phone that you download when you buy the Findster DUO. You must have a phone that's an iPhone 5 or higher, or an Android 5 or higher, or iOS 9 or higher than that for it to operate on your phone. So how it works is that Royce wears the module that I showed you earlier, and then I have this module called the Guardian here, and the two modules talk to each other as well as to the cell phone, and so you can get a real-time signal of where your pet is wandering around you. Now it says that I can track a pet up to about 0.8 kilometers in city with lots of complex architecture, and then in open areas you can track them up to about 4 or 5 kilometers, which is pretty insane. I've never tested it that far away, thank goodness. I've never had to track him that far, but that's pretty impressive for a GPS unit. Now, of course, as you know, with any kind of device that works with satellite, things are affected by weather. They're also affected, these modules are also affected by, things on the ground as well. Buildings, like I mentioned before, and also know with the cabin, sometimes it will disconnect if a big rock face or something is between us or something like that. So do keep that in mind. So the other attractive thing about the Findster DUO is that there are no monthly fees. It's a one-time cost of $140 Canadian. It's on sale right now, plus taxes and shipping. I paid a lot more for it about a year ago, but now I see that they're on sale. And there's no fees. So a lot of other modules you'll find online, they do have monthly fees, and they do require cellular service to be active at all times. I can turn my cell phone signal off, and it will still track him and show me where he is on the app. That's really, really cool. The only monthly fee associated with this Findster DUO is if you want to have access to a vet. They have, I think it's about $6 a month you pay, and you can text a vet if you have a question about your pet. So I decided not to go with any further monthly fees other than the one-time cost, so I decided to cancel that after the first month. So how do you get started with it? Well, you want to make sure it's on your pet's collar and that you have the Guardian. I put my Guardian on a carabiner and I carry it in my pocket, and you make sure it's on. They're fairly easy to charge. They wall charge in just a couple of hours or so to full. Make sure there's a full charge, and after the charge, make sure it's turned on. Once you've got it hooked up to your pet and to you, make sure you turn on the app, and then you can start either monitoring the pet without the tracker or with the GPS tracker on. It has a really good battery life. I find if I do not have any tracking on him, I just sort of keep it on to monitor his activity level in terms of how long he's slept, how long he's walked during the day. I can keep the battery going for a couple of weeks. Now that depends on the weather. Of course, the battery life is less when it's really cold outside, and it's better when it's warm outside. So, you know, I can leave it like that and the battery's really, really good. And the Guardian even goes longer than that. However, if I have the GPS tracker on, I definitely get a lot less battery life. They mention about 12 hours with it running continuously, 7 days for sort of normal walks. And you know, obviously if you don't have it on tracker mode, you can go quite some time without charging it. One nice thing is you do get notifications on your cell phone if either his module or my module, the Guardian, gets low in battery, so you know when to charge it up. So once you have your app open and you want to start tracking him, you have to be within 6 feet of the dog before it starts tracking them. So I will say start walk when he's about 6 feet away from me or closer, just kind of like that. And it will start the tracking. So my phone will buzz saying, hey, I'm monitoring a walk. At that point, you know, the app will start drawing a map of where you guys travel, and you can see satellite imagery, which is great. One important thing too this app does is it creates fences. So if I have him off tracking at the cabin and say he's not on leash, I can set up a fence around the cabin. It's virtual and draws a little box around the cabin, or you can draw a little polygon, and it will buzz when Royce leaves that fence. Kind of like if a dog was to jump the fence in the backyard. My phone starts vibrating saying, hey, Royce has left the fence, you better go check on him. So that is really cool, and I've definitely used that when we're around the cabin. It also allows you to set up danger zones. So if there's like a highway near you or something, you can set up a little area, another little fence, and when that area is crossed, it will alert you as well that your pet's entering a dangerous area. You can set up several of these fences. I've got one for home, one for the cabin, one for a few other areas that we hike when we go off leash. So at the end of your walk, you just make sure you turn it off if you don't want to run your cell phone battery down or the battery on the modules down, and it will record the total number of kilometers that you walked. You cannot log individual walks, which is a shame, but it will add the total cumulative amount of kilometers and paws that you walked. It's sort of like steps for people. They mark it in paws for the dogs. Now, one thing I don't like about it is there's been an update since December in that it always used to track his kilometers, but now it only does that when the GPS tracker is on. So what does it not do? Well, it's not a remote tracking device. So if he took off on me and I did not, start the GPS, I could not find him. It will not remotely connect to him. So don't get any funny ideas. So it won't do that, and it also limits you. That it's not for indoor tracking, although I admit when I'm at the cabin and I'm supervising him through the window, I will have the tracker on. It works pretty well. It will tell you that the it has some difficulty with the signal, but I would not advise to use it when you're indoors trying to track something outside. So I have a little story. I actually ended up using this when Royce got away from me the other day in the forest. I had him on the tracker. I started that on our hike, and then he's playing with one of his friends, and then he took off. And I recalled the friend dog, and the friend dog came back, but Royce wasn't there. So what I did was I turned on the map and the map feature, and I could actually see his little icon, his little head bobbing around about 60 or 70 meters away from me in the forest. So I knew the trail network system, so I kind of went up the trail because I figured that's the way he went after another pet or something like that. So I went up that way. Then as I got closer, I turned on the radar mode, and the radar mode is a really cool mode on the phone, and it really shows you where he is in relation to you, the Guardian module with the cell phone obviously on your pocket. So it basically will say the relationship that he is to you using the radar mode, which is really, really cool. So I could see he was approximately 40 meters northwest of me, and I just kept going up the trail, and then I got a visual on him and I could recall him. So that was really, really cool. I had no idea where he was. I was kind of blinded to that. He kind of took off quickly, but I turned on the phone. I could see the satellite imagery with his little face, his little icon there, and then I was able to use radar mode to hone in on him. Now it's really, really pretty accurate actually. I mean, it can find him within a radius of about 3 meters, so you can definitely get a visual when you get close on radar mode. Here we are on the map. You can see he's over there. Let's go into radar mode, and there he is, 40 meters away, straight ahead. Let's go get him. So find it updates every 10 seconds or so. Oh, he's right there. There he is. So what are some of the things that are not as attractive about the Findster DUO? I mentioned a lot of things that are really positive about it in the review. What are some of the things that bug me about it? Well, I do wish that they hadn't have done that update in December, and that you know, we could track the kilometers without the GPS actually being turned on. So I find that a disadvantage. I just really enjoyed seeing how many kilometers he'd walk during a day, because the steps per day don't really make sense to me. There's no opportunity to connect to him remotely. I have to have him right next to me to turn it on. So if we're hiking, I have to turn it on before we take him off leash when we're in an area to track the walk. I would love the ability to turn it on remotely, but I realize that comes with great cost. So with fair frequency, it would disconnect as well on our hikes sometimes, and thankfully it does reconnect once it gets in contact with the module again. So if there's something in the environment that you know, makes us get disconnected, if I've connected it at the beginning, then it's fine. It'll connect to him again, but just be aware of that. The other thing is, cold, like anything, affects the battery life. So if we're out at -10, the battery will go down fairly quickly. It'll also drain your cell phone as well when you are out in the cold and you're running the GPS all day long. So just keep that in mind. I would also love it if there's a way to track all the walks during the day and itemize them. That'd be a really cool update to the app. And one thing I'll mention is that you want to every day make sure you connect to the module, regardless if you're tracking or not, just so that it can update your daily activity levels and store them on the phone. There is a way to restore the data if you contact the help desk there online. They have a really great support staff, so if you mess up and you're missing data for a day, they can help you recover it from the modules. Overall, I really like this device and I'll continue to use it. I don't think there's anything better out there right now. So we'll continue with the Findster DUO, knowing its limitations, but when I needed it to find him, it worked. So that's what matters to me. Just remember to keep it charged, keep it on, and to always turn it on when you're right next to your pet so that you always have connectivity. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's little chat about the pet GPS tracker, the Findster DUO Plus. If you have any questions about it, let me know down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But so far so good, guys. So I recommend it. I hope you guys have a good week as always. Take care.